Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Rassle Rock with Rick Connor.
What the F was that entire freaking promo about?
Mark Hallbacher.
She's like the James Ellsworth of women.
And Cory Castle.
I look like Paul London and Brian Kendrick mixed.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Rassle Rock. This has been a pretty cool week, I think, so far. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you that celebrate such a thing. I had a pretty good holiday. How about you guys?
It was quiet. It was quiet.
Quiet?
Yeah, it was nice for me. No chaos and no violence, too much drinking and all that. So it was kind of nice.
Yes.
Usually the night before Thanksgiving can be really crazy for us industry people.
That's great.
Cory, how about you?
Oh, yeah, man. It was great. Thanksgiving was great. Got to just hang with the small group of my family that got together. And then on Black Friday and Saturday, I did stand-up comedy and hosted the night over at the Christmas Festival in Ben Salem.
Nice.
Yeah. Comedy, bro.
Comedy. The rule of comedy. You got to do it after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's the rule.
Everybody's full. And then they're going to be full of laughter as well.
That was why they didn't laugh. They were full. I didn't even think of that.
There were just too full. We're like, listen, you're very funny. You're very talented. But I just had my third helping of some kind of green bean casserole, and I'm gonna shit my pants if I laugh at you. I can say that, right? We're about a minute in. Yeah,
You're the one who's gonna figure that out.
I'm the one that has to edit it, so it's fine. That's the rule.
You can do it. You're gonna be the one who edits.
5 years on this podcast, I don't think I've once cursed on the air, and I did it of a crappy joke about you.
You were just riffing. You were too lost in the riff.
I was too lost in my awesome joke that I couldn't stop myself.
Just riffing.
Oh man, I had a pretty cool Thanksgiving. It was just me, my sister, and my niece, the people that live in this house. Nobody else outside this house, and that was pretty cool. I just had some chicken like that. We got a cat, apparently, somehow or another. Somebody adopted a cat, and I'm like, okay, cool. We have a cat now.
Nachos.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, I keep on trying. I had an old cat named Nachos, and I keep on trying to convince everybody to call this cat Tacos or Chalupa or something like that because I think that would be cool. And I think they're going with the name Freya.
Blah.
That's lame.
I'm afraid I don't like that name.
Who's the Norse mythology nerd in your family?
Right? Jesus. That'll be my sister.
I'm going to name my cat after the god of the earth.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
that'll be cool.
We're going to take a crap in a box. Let's calm down.
I know, right? It's like, the goddess is spraying all over the furniture. Oh no, that was pretty cool. Cool, man. Cool Thanksgiving. So let's talk wrestling, shall we?
Wrestling.
It's pretty interesting week. Some news just came out yesterday that we were talking about, or the day before, I think, about Jimmy Rave. We were just talking a little bit about this off air. Jimmy Rave is apparently has an infection in his arm, and they're going to have to amputate it. Jimmy Rave, if you don't know, was a former Impact champion. Cory and I know him from CZW and from local indies around us. Fairly big time guy, and it's really sucks. He's saying he's going to retire now. It's a pretty heartbreaking situation. It just kind of came out of nowhere. I have his statement that he just released to Twitter, of all things, because that's how you have to retire now. He says, "I've been very blessed for the last 21 years of professional wrestling and getting to live my dream. And today that dream was cut short as I realized I have an infection in my arm, which is going to be amputated and I am retiring from professional wrestling. I riffed on that last part because my phone just took a crap on me and died. But that's basically what he was saying. That makes it seem real.
The arm is going to have to be amputated, or it has been amputated?
I don't know.
I think it has been.
I think it's already been amputated.
Yeah.
Which, dude, I sincerely hope the best for Jimmy. I sincerely hope that he gets through this good, and I think once it heals up, he's still an asset. You know what I mean? He has such a fountain of knowledge that he can give to this wrestling business, and I hope he doesn't feel at all like there's any hope lost, because he can absolutely be an agent anywhere, and really, like, he's good enough to be able to adapt and be a one-armed wrestler. Like, if anyone could do it, it'd be him.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. It's like, you know what? Zach Gowen exists. Zach Gowen had his leg amputated before he even got into wrestling. So he trained with one missing leg. And if he can do that with a missing leg, I think Jimmy Rave, in his 21 years of experience, can learn how to do it with a missing arm. But if he's, we're not Jimmy Rave, so we can't make that decision for him. We can't say, exactly what he's feeling. If he feels that he has to retire, he has to retire. I have seen him up at CZW when Doja Wars. I don't even know if Doja Wars is still going on because of everything going on this year. But I've seen him up there, and he's been training a little bit and talking to some kids and passing along his wisdom. I've seen him on commentary up there, so I don't see a reason why that should stop. At least being a mentor of some kind. And passing
still a thing?
Is what? I'm sorry?
Is Dojo Wars still a thing?
It was before COVID happened. I don't know if they continued on, if they're doing some kind of... Because I know some places are still running. I know some independent places are still running, obviously with, safety precautions and everything else.
Right.
I don't know about Dojo Wars. I haven't heard anything. So I don't know.
I wish only the best for Jimmy Rave. And that's for sure what I want to be on the record of. Like, I'm on his team. Like, he was my teammate. You know what I mean? So I for sure want the best for him. And I hope he, can get himself healed and get in a different mental mindset, and, I hope he knows that he's good enough. He's good enough as a mind to have a bright future.
He can do it. He can do it as many times as he wants. So that's sad news. It really sucks when somebody has to retire due to any kind of an injury, let alone something this severe. But moving on to some other things. Did you guys see Taz has a son apparently that's getting into wrestling? Have you heard about it?
I only heard about it today, but I did not see that. Like, did he like put him on TV, or did they do something with him on that, or did he just come out and announce that his son's going to train?
Taz had an amazing promo where he ended up choking out Cody Rhodes. Well, Cody Rhodes, right before he was choked out, brought up a thing like, if you're so good, why is your kid training under me? And then that's when Taz choked him out. And when Taz left with the FTW belt, he handed it to someone with a hoodie on, and that just so happened to be his son. And then they walked out of the ring together. I guess it's like, I don't know where this is going storyline wise, or that was just it. But yeah, apparently Taz's son is now training to be a wrestler.
He apparently registered the name Hook as his name. He's going to Taz's son is going to be known as Hook. Registered that name, copyrighted the whole thing.
Is his color scheme going to be red and white?
I don't know.
Says his color scheme going to be red and white instead of orange. Captain Hook.
Yeah. How do you register a name like Hook? Like, isn't that like very vague and probably taken already? Like, there is a Captain Hook out there. Maybe it's
Captain James.
A whole Robin.
You
Say
can't.
it again?
You can't, because look at Sting from the Police, and then you had Sting from WCW. You can't, like a word like that, you can't just copyright as your own.
I'm going to copyright the word the. Call me the.
probably already taken.
To me as anything but the. And if you say the, I'll correct you.
Are you waiting to be called on?
No, I'm
because you're already talking.
I'm trying to fast forward through the commercials. I'm watching SmackDown.
Gotcha. It could be something along the lines of Hook as it pertains to wrestling. Maybe you can just copyright it that way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I don't know, because I'm sure there's plenty of things out there already named Hook. So
okay,
we'll see.
Here's my take on it, and I'll
Sure.
just say this. I'll just say this, and we'll get right off of it. Huge fan of Taz, always have been. Not a huge fan of nepotism. His son gets a spot on TV in AEW because he's his son. I've been wrestling 18 years, and I don't get a spot because I'm not somebody's son. It kind of annoys me, but good for Taz's son Hook, and I hope that he does something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's my whole thing. That's how I started the whole thing with Nia Jax. She's only there because of who she's related to. I've said that time and time again.
By hook or by crook or by whose dad you got. Who you got is a dad or a cousin or an uncle or... I wish my dad was somebody. My dad has 8 kids, 1 testicle, and 0 WWE championships.
There you go.
3 wives. 3 wives, 8 kids, 1 testicle. No wrestling career.
You just sing Half a Man to him on a regular basis, or what?
Take time with one hand.
That had nothing to do with having 1 testicle.
That's the song, though. That's the same song.
Is it?
Yes.
The Temple Pilots, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah, man. Good job, Hook. Hope you actually do well, I guess. Good luck to you. Let's see what happens. In other news, we almost saw AJ Styles on Impact. Did you see this? Did you see this whole story?
Oh, dude, that was such a bad story.
God, man. I was really hoping Hornswoggle would do something other than be a joke somewhere else. Because he showed up last week in AEW, and that was kind of stupid little weird thing under the ring or whatever it was. And then he shows up this week as a surprise opponent. Who was it? It was Ethan Page. Carl Anderson comes out and says he has a surprise opponent. Ethan Page has to face an opponent of his choice. And the Get Ready to Fly song starts playing, and out comes Hornswoggle dressed up as AJ Styles. What did they call him? I wrote down his name. It was like CJ.
Well, when they were here, they had a phenomenal one about they had someone who was going to be the phenomenal. It was just really bad, poorly done, and I know probably the Good Brothers did it to make AJ laugh. And because I don't know how many fans really laughed, because you get tired of, like, it's been 20 years, and every time you turn around, like, Hornswoggle's the reveal, and we're all supposed to. It's like, oh, okay, it's Hornswoggle again.
So he was on AEW last week, and then he was on TNA this week.
Yeah,
man, good for him. I mean, he's convinced somebody he's valuable.
Now Cory's pissed. He's like, I'm not anybody's son. I'm not a midget. I'm not.
No, I mean, let him have it, dude. Let him have it. For
18
sure.
years I've been in this business. I'm too damn tall. I've got 2 testicles, no wives, no kids.
Sorry, I'm so ornery today.
Ordinary. Yeah, I'm a little tired of the Hornswoggle storyline too. It's been a little too long that we've had to deal with this, and I feel bad for Hornswoggle because the guy can actually wrestle, and he's. I think he needs to be more than a joke. Somebody needs to actually book him as part of a tag team or something like that. Stop making him such a. I'm sure he's getting more money as a special attraction, but book him as a real wrestler. Why not?
Who would his opponent?
I could see that. I don't know. Other people, regular people, just like regular. You know what I mean? Like whatever. Like he worked Ethan Page, and the match wasn't half bad, but nobody's talking about it because everybody's talking about he wrestled a little person, he wrestled a midget, whatever Hornswoggle decides to be called, whatever he prefers. He called now? Know what I mean? CJ Swoggle is what he came out as, because it was like AJ Styles. CJ Swoggle.
The Swoggles clash.
Whatever, it was like phenomenal one, but not the phenomenal one. I forget what it was. He might just be going by Swoggle. I don't know what he's going by. If he did a
phenomenal forearm, I would be impressed, but I don't think he did that in the match. Like if he actually got on the rope and did that. But I don't know, man. It's just I give a lot of credit. Impact's doing a lot of different things and trying to get out there. I'm not into anything Impact's doing. I think their women's division is actually not bad. They got some really talented girls wrestling for them.
Them as a company in general, they've always had a really good women's division. Like from the whole knockouts, that's always been something different than what WWE is doing, and it's definitely something better than what All Elite's doing, or as Jim Cornette calls it, All Friends Wrestling. I love Jim Cornette. I've become a huge Jim Cornette fan. I listen to Jim Cornette all the time.
I had to take a break from him. Because he's so damn angry all the time.
I love the names that he gives people. I love Johnny Sameface. He says that about Johnny Gargano. Johnny Sameface. And yes, Kenny Olivier. It's just really funny to me.
Oh my goodness!
That was probably one of the highlights of the week. Was Kenny coming out to sign the contract and Moxley coming out the back and just beating him senseless before they even did the signing. I thought that was really well done and something different. I mean, I kind of laugh at this new thing where Kenny Omega's coming out and he has the 2 girls dancing with a broom, trying to brag about how good he is. Now he's doing the suits with he's trying to do the cleaner gimmick again. But actually, is it this Wednesday? Yeah, it's this Wednesday. They fight for the title, and that match should be like it should be top notch. I mean, I don't know how much time they're going to get. How much time do you give that title match? How many matches do they have on that card? Because really, they should be taking up at least half of the show.
When is the pay-per-view?
It's not a pay-per-view. They're doing it right on it. They're just doing it right on Dynamite.
Yeah, this Wednesday. Good for them. I think it's going to be good, and hopefully they give them the time that they deserve.
Yeah, I guess they're combating the lead into War Games. I guess that's what they're trying to do. War Games is not till next week, right?
It's Sunday.
Is it Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday. So, a couple more days. Let's get into a little bit of NXT news since we brought up War Games. It looks like we're definitely going to have a women's War Games match as well, with Team Candice LeRae versus Team Shotzi. I know Ember Moon has joined the Team Shotzi team.
Wasn't Shotzi injured? Didn't they say something like she's injured? Or is that just like storyline?
Maybe it was. I don't know. I didn't hear that. When did that happen? Was that on?
They said something like
TV this week?
Candice LeRae said something about like injuring her. I could have sworn they like injuring her knee or her leg and was bragging about it. So I thought maybe that was an actual real injury and they were putting it in the storyline.
So is Toni Storm, now that they've made her a heel, they're going to throw her in the War Games match?
Yeah, because the girl that's with Candice LeRae should not be in that ring with the other 7 girls. What's her name? The one that was wearing the ghost face costume.
Oh yeah,
Andy Hartwell.
Yeah, she's not ready to be in War Games. That's
she's
just
not ready to be on TV. Sit her at home. Like let her get trained and learn how to wrestle before you put her on TV. But what do I know? I don't know anything. Whatever. I don't have any expertise.
You're not anybody's son or a midget.
Yeah. If I was somebody's son, or if I was a name in the WWF 20 years ago, sure, give me a job. Listen to me and listen to me and do what I say. But otherwise, I'll piss off. I'll just F myself.
Oh man. By the way, I know I keep saying the word midget, but because that's what Hornswoggle likes to be called. He says he prefers to be called a midget and not a little person. So I don't want to get any angry emails or any. Don't cancel me, you bastards. Just saying what he likes.
I had already been recording you saying that word 100 times, and I tweeted it just a second ago. But now I have to now correct it. Hang with me.
Talk to Hornswoggle before you cancel me. Just saying.
No, I won't. I will just, no matter what, not say the word. Just done. I won't say it ever again. You remember that crap I had over the comedy stuff, and I had a throwaway bit about that word, and then a famous little person's mom came up to me and was like, "Hey, I'm going to tell my son you said that." And she's like, "Otherwise, you were really funny, though." Okay. Thanks. I'm going to tell my son about you. Oh, are you going to tell him about the good stuff or the stuff? And then he emailed me. He emailed me saying some hateful crap.
Yeah.
He called me intolerant. I'm like, I wasn't intolerant. That's the only word that would make that joke get over. And it's not even a joke worth continuing to do. I'll stop doing it. I'm fine. Okay, but yeah, off of that subject. You're not getting canceled, bro.
No, I'm just.
I was just trying to figure out who's the 4th member of Team Shopsy, or are they going to announce that this week?
Yeah, they haven't announced it yet. I'm imagining it's going to happen this week, or it's going to be a surprise for the for War Games.
Or do you think it's Io Shirai? Do you think it's Io Shirai since they jumped her when they were coming down the ramp to go after Rhea Ripley? So then it would be Io, Shotzi, Rhea Ripley, and Ember Moon. I guess first, the other team. Should be good. Not really excited about the teams. I don't know. It's not really I'm not really excited about who's on what team and what's going on for the girls. Really excited about the men's War Games. That ladder match was insane. A lot of the submissions they were trying to do using the ladder to do the submissions was really well paid. I
admittedly didn't watch NXT, but when I heard about that match, it's Kyle O'Reilly in a ladder match against who? It
was now I'm blanking on Pete Dunne.
When I heard about that match, it's such a marquee match, and I was like, that sounds like something that would be main event of a takeover, but it was really just to gain an advantage in the War Games match. So whoever wins, their team gets the first advantage in the match.
It was really well done, and Pete Dunne, wow, dude, I don't know what he did in his time off or being locked down in England, but he's in the shape he's in now. He's like light years better than he was when he left NXT. So I really think that group, and was that Pat McAfee in the costume that jumped him, or are they getting a fifth member? It didn't look like McAfee. He wasn't. McAfee has a gut on him, and that dude looked like he was in shape. Whoever was in that hoodie. So I'm trying to figure out who the next member is for I guess, what are they called again?
For the brand or something.
The brand, whatever.
Yeah, it was actually Rob Gronkowski. You're gonna throw Rob Gronkowski with that group.
I'm surprised they didn't do anything like that, man. Imagine, well, Gronkowski's playing ball, but they could have done that and brought what's his name?
Mojo
out of WWE and brought him on and did something with Mojo. Had all these other guys versus actual real wrestlers.
Did they? Is Mojo still in WWE, or did he get fired with everybody else on that Black Wednesday thing?
Yeah, I think he's going to stay there forever. I don't think they'll ever fire him or ever use him better than they do. Like, he's just a lifer, that dude.
The whole goal was for him to basically help the transition of getting Gronkowski into WWE. And then Gronkowski went back to the NFL, but if Tampa Bay loses this season, I don't see Gronkowski going back to the NFL for, I think he's only signed for one season.
Did he go to Tampa Bay with Brady?
Yeah. And
that's some NWO dumb BS. Like, I quit. I'm not feeling it anymore. I don't want to do it. And then Brady goes to Tampa Bay, and then he comes and spray paints NWO on everybody's back.
Hey, man, it's one thing about it's the only way you can get out of an NFL contract is you have to retire.
He's got a Lloyd's of London case going on.
Hey, you just retire, and then you just show up a year. You give yourself a year off. A year and a half later, you announce you're coming back to football, and you get to play for the team you want.
He wanted to work for Tony Khan and Vince McMahon at the same time.
It's how half the WWE guys should get out of their contracts. They don't want to be there. Just retire. You can literally get out of your contract by retiring.
That's what Kurt Angle did. It worked for him. He went to Impact and wrestled for another decade. So why not? And then he went back to WWE.
Well, I thought he got released in 2006.
Didn't he say he was going to retire? Isn't that how?
I think that was like the sprinkles of my contract is coming up or something. And then he got released before his contract was up, I believe. I mean, I could be way wrong. I'm frequently wrong. So don't always believe everything. Who am I? I don't know anything. I'm just some son of a zilch.
That's your new gimmick. Son of a zilch. It's a great insult for somebody. It's like, you son of a zilch.
I mean,
fantastic.
My mom is somebody very special, but she's never somebody special in the wrestling business.
Yeah, I love my mom to death. She's never once gotten me a job in anything I wanted to do.
Would she ever?
Hell, yeah. I love my mom to death. She didn't beat anybody. She just
she's a nice guy, but so is my neighbor. It's a funny thing, man. Something I've been thinking about today all day, really, was the fact that I feel like no wrestling has really the emphasis on trying to attract a new audience. They're only just kind of catering to what they have. And that's kind of weird to me. Like, it feels like AEW would do really well. They have a lot of resources to kind of broaden the audience. They could just, they could do a lot of crossovers. They could the guy owns an NFL team. Like, you could do a lot of crossovers. You could get a lot of new eyes on the product.
Well, the rumor is they're still trying to mend a relationship with New Japan. So if they get that and they can start bringing New Japan back into the States, But nothing's going to happen until COVID's over.
But I mean, but at the same time, that's just them doing more wrestling. Like that's just catering to the smart marks that they're already catering to. I'm talking about dude. Everybody who you talk to goes, "Oh, yeah." I go, "Hey, are you a wrestling fan?" No, I used to be. When it was cool, when it was Austin and Rock, and like it's like.
Well, I think they're trying. I think they're trying that, but they're bringing the wrong people.
Everybody used to be a wrestling fan. So why don't we say, hey, here's wrestling for people who used to be wrestling fans?
I know, but I think they're trying to do that, but they're doing it with the wrong people. They're bringing in Shaq. Shaq's not relevant. If Shaq was still playing ball and he was still like, in contention for a championship and all that, like it would be a big deal.
He still had his Sega Genesis video game, Shaq Fu.
But like, when WCW brought in, they brought in, what's his name? Rodman. Rodman was still playing ball and he was at the height of his popularity. That's when they brought him in. That's how you get crossovers. You don't bring in someone his career's already over and he's not reaching out to an audience that's watching him. Nobody's watching Shaq now. He's got a podcast.
But he's in the Papa John commercials.
He's got like a sports podcast. It's like not good. And that's it. Like Pat McAfee, what NXT's doing, you guys, Pat McAfee's a lot bigger than people realize. Like his show's huge.
Right.
And then he does sports analyst on regular television. His podcast is actually recorded live from like a sports studio. Right. So he has a visual element plus the podcast and he's doing other things. He's a lot bigger. He's more relevant. So that's like NXT's doing more than actual WWE's doing right now by bringing Pat McAfee in there.
Dude, if AEW had like a working relationship with Joe Rogan or something, like that would be massive.
They brought in Mike Tyson. Like Mike Tyson, he just fought on Saturday in one of the worst fights I've ever seen in my life. But like
everyone's saying that it's bad. It was bad.
It wasn't him either. It was Roy Jones. Roy Jones Jr. just kept hugging him. Like Roy Jones did not want to fight him at all and just kept hugging him for 8 rounds. But it's Mike Tyson. The height of Mike Tyson was when him and Austin and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14. He was about to drop off a cliff right after that anyway. Like his popularity was about ready to drop off. So like AEW's bringing in these people, but none of them are relevant enough to really do any crossover. It's almost like it's more fan service than it is like crossover.
Do you know what would bring in a big audience? And this is probably a really hot take, and I wonder if this would actually happen because it sounds like something that would happen. Once Biden is inaugurated, bring Donald Trump as an on-screen personality in the WWE.
It's already in the works. It's already been rumored for 2-3 months. That McMahon's already reached out to him that if he lost, that he may be a major angle for WrestleMania, and it'll be huge. It will be absolutely huge. He comes back. It's going to draw a lot of eyes to WWE. I mean, I'm not sure with the culture now if it's going to bring a lot of hate too.
But it'll be eyes.
But
it'll be attention.
And the rumor is Trump is looking into starting his own news network too. Mm-hmm. So I could see Trump using that as a platform to let people know that he's starting his own news network. So I would definitely, if everything goes the way it's supposed to in January and Biden goes in, I could see Trump being in WWE by mid-February.
Wow.
It's going to be awesome.
I mean, it's going to be a train wreck.
I mean, awesome is one thing. I don't know how I could see him being like, well, this should happen and that should happen. You remember when Vince McMahon put like Donald Trump and Rosie O'Donnell in like a fake match on Raw?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Donald Trump should get somebody, and let's just say Bobby Lashley, put a wig on him that makes him look like Donald Trump, and have him just squash everybody who's a jobber dressed as somebody he doesn't like.
Well, think about this too. Like, how about you have Trump come back and he realigns with Lashley again, and now Lashley's a heel,
Right.
and Trump's not liked either.
Right.
Now, I'm telling you, it could be massive.
It's like, you're into the Hurt Business. If anybody knows anything about business, it's me. I'm Donald J. Trump.
They start talking about a secret benefactor for weeks during the Hurt Business, and then Trump just waddles out there.
This is a license to print money. I didn't know this was in talks for months. I just was off the top of my head, but I could see it totally happening now. Now I'm happy to say that something I just off the top of my head was riffing about. You were like, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I've heard rumors from like 2-3 months ago. They were already talking about it. Like, he already has all kinds of contingency plans if he lost presidency, and one of them was going back to WWE. And as hated as he is, that storyline is going to be huge. I'm telling you, it's going to be a massive storyline.
It's going to be like post Montreal Screwjob, Bret Hart.
Well, that's the thing, is you got to get him even more hated.
Yeah.
To the point where like, people just want him dead and wrestling. We go back to the WCW where they're throwing trash at him while he's standing in the ring. All that stuff. If we ever get fans in the ring again.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is going to be spelling WCW in the sky.
Smashing tables and monitors outside.
You're going to spit right in the fake Joe Biden's face.
I guess the big storyline is who we picking for tonight. We got AJ Styles versus Keith Lee versus Matt Riddle. AJ's the only, I guess, tweener / bad guy. He's more, I don't know, he's more of a tweener. He's not really a bad guy. But then do you see him or one of the other two guys wrestling Drew McIntyre? Do you pull the trigger on Keith Lee, or do you give that time?
I think it's, sorry, go ahead, Rick.
Okay. It has to be AJ Styles because the other two aren't. I don't think they're good matches for Drew McIntyre because Riddle is definitely not ready for any kind of main event spot or heavyweight championship match or anything like that. He's definitely not built up enough. Keith Lee is, and it would be a good match, and that's who I would pick if I was writing the whole thing, but you know they're not going to. They're going to go for it would be like the Orton and Reigns thing all over again. It's like, well, we don't want to see two heels fight, so let's put McIntyre in there so it's actually, you know, a better match. And by better match, I don't mean better wrestled match. I mean like a better storyline, like a better story that's
better fit match.
Yeah.
Like
fit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a better fit. And AJ has this Almas guy out at ringside now who's, you know, just insanely tall and intimidating. And, you know, I think that could really work in his favor and make it an even better match. I
want to see this guy stand next to Drew. I want to see him stand next to Drew McIntyre because Drew's 6'8". I want to see how big this dude is.
Yeah.
He's already stood next to Braun Strowman in the Survivor Series build-up. We saw that already.
Yeah, and then
there's
a rumor. The rumor is it's supposed to be Braun versus Drew at TLC. I know they just suspended him, but I guess it's a work suspension.
Who'd they suspend?
Yeah,
Braun. I thought maybe they found another bathroom photo, like another bathroom selfie, and they had to suspend him for a while.
Ab check. Syringe check.
Just the Annabelle bottle just sitting on the shelf this time. It's like, it's for my cat. Oh,
cat medication.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole Strowman thing, that whole celebration thing that happened with Adam Pearce, especially. What was the thing with him? He called him Drew McInfart, and it was supposed to be like. Did you hear that?
I did not hear it.
Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, the winner will be facing the WWE champion Drew McIntyre, and it was a legit mistake, apparently.
But that's probably what they call him backstage.
I wouldn't doubt with all those wrestlers in the ring.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't doubt one of them farted while he was standing there on the mic, and that's what he smelled. He just thought that word when he was saying Drew McIntyre's name.
Well, with all the protein that these guys ingest, there's probably tons of farting happening. Like, I used to, dude, in the height of like Nick Burke's like jackness, probably 2003. I took a long road trip with him to Georgia, and he was farting in the car so much, like I still smell it now, like 30 years later.
It happens.
If I think about it hard enough, I can smell those disgusting Nick Burke protein farts.
You're doing like the Wayne's World thing with the like going back. I remember. Just taking you back in time to Nick Burke's fart.
The Georgia road trip farts.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going with Styles for tonight. I think. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna say it definitely should be AJ. I mean, if not AJ, then Keith. But I don't think they're gonna put babyface Keith Lee versus babyface Drew McIntyre.
I'm gonna go with AJ, but I could see Matt Riddle because I could see them let Matt Riddle just get pinned. So the way they've been really booking him lately. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to say the more and more, and I think I said it that one week when he had like 2 matches on one Raw or one SmackDown or whatever. One TV he had 2 matches. Where like he was like in a match with Jeff Hardy and Baron Corbin, and then he was in a match with like all the Survivor Series guys, and I was like, man, things always look awkward with him. Like he just does not have chemistry with people. He's just awkward. And then I heard Jim Cornette saying it, and I was like, well, I was right. Like, I guess I was right. He's not like he just doesn't gel with people, and maybe he needs to go back to wrestling school.
Speaking of Baron Corbin, did any of you guys watch that on SmackDown? Was that the most confusing angle I've ever seen, or is that just me?
Oh, yeah, with the Mysterios and everything.
All the Mysterios came out and helped Baron Corbin win. Like I don't think WWE understands what good guys are anymore. I don't think they.
Yeah, it's first of all, Murphy is. It'd be one thing if it was Baron Corbin and Dominic. It's like, all right, we're going to get Dominic a win. Like, then I could kind of see it. But Murphy is like a talented wrestler who has like plenty of experience and everything like that. It should have just been Corbin versus Murphy, and that was it. Why?
Here's the thing. Murphy's dad wasn't anybody, and Dominic Mysterio's dad is somebody.
It's always going to come back to this.
Oh my goodness!
You know Cody Rhodes? His dad was somebody.
Yeah. Now he owns an entire company.
And he owns
an entire company.
Plenty to say.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the storylines from this week. The only other one I would go with is the Kevin Owens. He was really fun on NXT, especially when he did the Kevin Owens show and he kept pulling the chairs out for everybody. Nobody wanted a chair. And he's just mumbling in the mic. He's like, I don't even know why I get these chairs for people. He's just like, as they're all like yelling at each other. It's like, that was really well done.
It's fun when he like shows a little bit of who he really is. I like that a lot.
And then Friday they had the complete turnaround with him snapping on Jey Uso and just beating him down with that chair and stunning him. And then sitting at the head of the table and banging on the table and not going anywhere to like Roman.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, he's probably going to get absolutely destroyed by Roman Reigns, but it was nice to see the old Kevin Owens. It was nice to see the intense, I was hoping he was going to power bomb Jay on the ring apron too, to really, put it home to show that this is like the old Kevin Owens. But I think 15 chair shots and a stunner.
Yeah, I don't think we want a chance injuring Jey Uso. from taking a power bomb onto the apron, just in a segment. If it's a match, it's one thing, but if it's just a segment, and especially did he legit take 15 chair shots?
I don't know. It's like I think it was like 6 or 7. It was a lot of solid shots. And then you look on the other side, what they did with Jey Uso was like great. Comes out in the opening, Roman punks him. Roman's whole understated bad guy is just phenomenal. And then
he attacked Otis with the chair.
Attacks Otis, and then later on, Daniel Bryan has a throwaway line about Jey Uso, and then Daniel Bryan's wrestling. Sami Zayn runs out of the ring after him, and then Jey Uso is beating him up in the back in the gorilla position, and then Sami Zayn wins his match. So they're doing really good at making tentpole characters for SmackDown, like to really like revolve the whole show around,
right?
And it's not as chaotic as Raw, even though this Raw was probably the best Raw in weeks with the three qualifying matches were just, I thought all of them were great. Bobby Lashley and Keith Lee. Oh, I was so amped for that match. And it delivered. The finish sucked, but it delivered. And Matt Riddle and Sheamus actually put out a solid match.
Was it not awkward?
I don't know. I think they have chemistry. I think those two can work well together.
I liked it. I mean, I liked all the qualifying matches and everything on Monday Night Raw. There wasn't too much to complain about this week with SmackDown and Raw. I heard that once again they scrapped SmackDown at the last second, and Vince McMahon rewrote the whole thing. But if that's what happened, did a pretty good job. I think it was still a pretty good, pretty solid show.
Yeah, I saw someone just post that like Vince McMahon's ruining SmackDown. I'm like, did you watch it? Like the only thing is like failing right now is I don't know what the hell they're doing with Otis. But like besides that, like what are they failing? Jey Uso's bigger than he's ever been. They just reintroduced Kevin Owens, even if it's only for like a month or two, like being up there. Daniel Bryan slowly becoming the guy who I think's going to war with Roman Reigns in the long run. And the only thing is their tag division sucks. And their women's division's a little bit of a mess right now, but that can get back together pretty quickly. I don't know. I don't know how Carmella Sasha's going to work out, but Carmella's not that bad of a wrestler. I'm not sure about her new gimmick, but I think
I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of. She looks like she's wearing fruit roll-ups. She needs to stop.
You hate all women. We get it. It's fine. Go and hate everyone that got here because of their dad, and everybody that's a woman. That is one thing I didn't like this week. What was with the Asuka and Lana winning the tag titles?
Did they win the belts or they just won?
I think they won the belt.
No, I don't think they gave the belts. I don't think they could do that, man. I don't think there's a way they could get around like giving Lana maybe this week because now Lana has a win under her belt, but if they do that,
well, Asuka's already the Raw Women's champ.
They saddle Asuka with like being stuck with her as a tag team member. That's just bad. It's just so bad.
Yeah, maybe I was wrong. I could have sworn that they won. Maybe I'm wrong.
They won the match. They just didn't win the belt.
They won the match. Yeah. I don't know. I could very well be wrong, and I, honest to God, hope I am. I think that might be the best news I got all week was that I'm wrong about them winning the tag titles. That's awesome. Speaking of winning, folks, you know what it's time for? It's time for wrestling. Who wins wrestling? Blah, 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 blah. King of the segues. What do you guys got?
Sami Zayn.
Sami
There
Zayn.
you go. Care to elaborate, or are you just gonna?
Yeah, dude, it's so great the way he's being used. The fact that like he's winning matches in a chicken spit way, where he doesn't, you know what I mean? He doesn't have to win, but like he's winning, and like he had an amazing match with Daniel Bryan. Like so, an amazing match got ended. It was almost like the same thing with him, like tying Apollo Cruz's foot to the rope, like another count out, another smart count out, like you haven't seen before. Like this is stuff that hasn't been seen, and I dig it. It's smart and it's creative. It's funny because I wanted to say both of those guys because of how good that match was, but not just because of how good that match was, but because I've been hearing all the credit that Daniel Bryan has been getting as creative, as like a producer trying to do the backstage, like running the show for SmackDown. Did you see that?
Yeah, I know he's one of them. I know him and Paul are both helping out with the writing now on SmackDown.
Do you know Paul? Who's Paul?
Paul Heyman, who hangs out with my ex, who still won't let me meet him. She spent a week at my house 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, "Can I finally meet Paul?" She's like, "No." Paul Heyman girl, if anybody's asking. His weird thing he does on his website where he shows porn stars. No, I think both of them are doing a great job with building an undercard. That's the biggest problem with WWE right now is they make 1-2 stars and then everybody else just loses or gets rolled up or, and all the storylines revolve around 50-50 or like I like the fact that people are actually winning. I like the fact that people are actually set up as they could possibly win. Like it's not like, oh, that guy loses 5 weeks in a row. Like he's never going to win a match. Except for Apollo. They kind of pushed Apollo to the side this week, which was pretty sad. But yeah, man, I think they're doing a great job. Which I guess I should go into my pick then.
Yeah, I thought you were getting there.
Well, I'm going to go with the match. The match of the week is definitely the ladder match on NXT. So I didn't want to give it to either one of those guys because I think it was unfair not to give it to the other one. Both of them put on a great show. So I'm going with Kevin Owens. Like I said, he was really fun on NXT.
Yeah.
And to see the old Kevin Owens and him be the last thing they show on SmackDown as they pan out the Roman Reigns and he's just seething at the table. And just to see that old Kevin Owens, the guy that wrestled John Cena and beat John Cena when he was the NXT champion and, all the violent stuff he was doing. I was kind of happy to see that. And hopefully they do a little more than just him losing the Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice to see an actual program.
I like seeing him with the Bam Bam shirt on. Bam Bam Bigelow shirt on.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was fun. Yeah, you guys took both of mine. I had one and then I had a backup. So since Mark's not going with them, I am going to go with that ladder match. I'm going to go with Kyle O'Reilly because I know Mark, you said it was unfair to pick one over the other because they both had a great match. But Kyle O'Reilly is coming back from that injury, coming right off of the great match that he had with Finn Balor not too long ago. And everybody's like, oh, Kyle O'Reilly, he's going to be great. He's going to do great things. He's finally breaking out, and then he gets injured. But now he comes right back and does an incredible match with Pete Dunne. Even though he didn't win, he didn't win either match. He still proved himself to be absolutely great. And I hope they continue with this. I'm really looking forward to War Games because he's going to be in it and he's going to be great. So, yeah. Kyle O'Reilly, baby.
It's the only match I'm actually looking forward to in the next few weeks. Yeah. I love War Games. I was a huge fan of the old War Games. I think NXT has done a great job with bringing it back, and every men's War Games has been phenomenal. And actually, last year the women's War Games was really fun. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I don't like the participants in the women's match, but the ones that are in there, I know some of them are going to I think Rhea Ripley's going to have a huge showing in this War Games.
War Games, the women's War Games last year, they beat the crap out of each other. That was such a brutal War Games match. It was such a brutal match in general. I don't even want to qualify it by saying it was a brutal War Games match. It was just a brutal match. They beat the crap out of each other. It was nuts. So I don't going into it, the build up to whatever the women's War Games match is. I don't care. I really don't care. but I know it's going to be good, and I know that they got high standards to live up to from last year's women's war game match.
Mm-hmm. And we have, don't forget, Leon Ruff, Damian Priest, and Johnny Gargano in a triple threat match. I think that's going to be fantastic. That's also coming up at War Games, and I'm really looking forward to it. Leon Ruff has actually been proving himself, you know?
Well, what's the other match? We're going to have
Dexter
Loomis. We got Dexter Loomis versus
Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes, baby! Get a move!
They're going to be in a strap match. It's probably going to stink, but I got a weird feeling the way Cameron Grimes has been portrayed lately, he's going to make it fun.
They're going to go through every stupid gimmick match they can. A blindfold match, a strap match. What's next?
Coal miner's glove on a pole. Coal miner's glove on a pole.
Coal miner's glove on a pole.
I haven't seen a coal miner's glove on a pole match.
They're going to do like electric chair match.
They put the stupid other bit on and punch somebody. It's supposed to be like this hard glove.
They're just going to run through all the cheesiest, dumb things. But the thing is, it's funny how they can actually pull it off and make it well. Like the blindfold match, as dumb as a concept that was, they pulled it off. Like it took a lot of talent to be able to do that. So I have to give them lots of credit for that.
Well, like because Cameron Grimes is able to not take himself seriously, it made it fun. When he was leaping all over the ring and nobody was there, and instead of him just doing what was it when Jake the Snake did it years ago, and he just did this for like 8 minutes, and it was just agonizing to sit there and stare at two guys like fumbling around the ring. So you couldn't give them hoods that they could actually see through, so they could do something.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, I absolutely loved that match, Jake Roberts and Rick Martel. I think just because it was so different, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool," and I was such a mark back then, and I was really into it. But yeah, I totally get it. It's very rare that you get a good blindfold match ever these days. So
it really lends to it that Cameron Grimes does not take himself too seriously, and. Hopefully this is still just the very beginning for him, because I think things are going to go. He's got a bright future.
Mm.
Same with Dexter Loomis. He's really good.
Mm.
So I'd like to see where that goes. And I have to also mention, I very much dislike the stupid ripped ass shorts that Buddy Murphy wears. Like, I was so relieved when he started wearing like the long tights like Seth Rollins wore, because he wasn't going to wear those like ripped look. They're designed to look like they're ripped, but they look dumb. Your pants look like you found them in the trash, brah.
I know they're designed to look like that. I don't know if they're supposed to be flames or whatever, but anything with flaps on it, it just looks weird. It's awkward.
Cool.
It's got flaps all over it. It's not cool.
It ain't cool. Did you see
Daddy buy those for you?
Did you see the Baby Yoda on SNL?
No.
He was like, let me be serious here for a second. And he was like, Baby Groot, we ain't friends, Baby Groot. He's like, yo, TikToks are cringe, bruh. That's how I feel about Buddy Murphy's pants. Your pants cringe, bruh.
That's how I feel about this segment.
I was trying to figure out where you were going with that, and I'm like, is he talking to his pants? What is happening? Is this a special message for
Is he talking to his pants is the name of the episode now, huh?
I think I like Son of a Zilch better. I think that's what I'm going to go with. All right, man. That'll about do it for this episode of Rassle Rock. Mark, do you got anything to plug? Anywhere you're going to be? Anything you're going to say to anybody?
No. Everybody wear a mask so I can work more than 2 days a week outside in the cold.
Yeah. I agree. Cory, what do you got, man?
I'm going to be hosting probably Fridays and Saturdays for the next 5 weeks at the Amazing Christmas Village in Ben Salem. So come check that out. It's a lot of cool vendors, a lot of entertainers. Like there's been singers and dancers, and I've met some really cool people. So come check it out. You'll see I dress in a cool little host suit, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. Check out Evolving with Cory Castle. New episodes drop every Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure if you're listening to us, if you're watching us, if you're liking what we do, and you want to support us, go ahead and subscribe, follow, rate, and review. Let us know you exist. We need that. We need that validation scratch itched, or the other way around.
We need the scratch itch and the itch scratched and all kinds of nails. As long as there's nails on something. Yeah, that's what we need.
Scratch our itches.
Scratch our itches, bitches. So yeah, man. Check out. We got a new website now, by the way. RassleRock.com. Finally up and running, man. I had off the past couple of days, so I just sat down and did it. So now everything's in one spot. You can find all of our past episodes, all of the YouTube episodes that we've done. You can find our shop, everything on there. Still connected to a charity. I rearranged everything on the shop as well. So now everything goes to one charity, which is Partners in Health. They're teaming up with medical teams that are combating COVID. So it's a very worthy cause. 100% of everything, all the proceeds go to that charity. So it's very important. And that'll be about it, man. I'm all done here. Check out RassleRock.com. Check out our drop us a line and let us know how we're doing. That'll be about it for this episode of Rassle Rock. I am Rick Connor.
Mark Holliker.
Cory Castle.
And let's take it out like we always do with Mr. Nick Berg.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Join us again for another episode of Rassle Rock. This has been Jay Davis speaking.